Let's break out a 53-man roster projection. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, fresh back from training camp. So clearly we know exactly who's going to make this Vikings 53-man roster. We're going to give our projections right now.
I'm going to project one thing. Is that a new hat you're wearing?
Oh, this old thing? I mean, this beautiful lift bridge ball cap here that somebody will have a chance to buy. We should give away the winners tonight on the live.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's give away the winners. If you drop hashtag LiftBridge, this video included, still time to get in for the drawing. We'll draw those things tonight. But yes, online store, you get something like the hat, maybe a nice Stein, maybe a nice shirt. Who knows? Ooh. But LiftBridge Brewery, the sponsor of this video and makers of fantastic beer. And I'm going to try a different one here tonight.
Yeah, we just got a big old load from them, so we're going to be whapping those back tonight. Join us live, 7 o'clock, talking a lot of training camp. But before we get into our projections, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 8,000 subs. And also, if you watched our episode last night, Lupagus and I got into it about if CJ Ham was a top 5, what was it? Damn it.
Football player. All-around football player.
So I put out the poll, and it is currently 60-40. Everybody seems to be on Lupagus's side. I'm sticking to my guns though, but it's
I'm
good
sticking
to know
to my guns too.
Lupagus is right. So here we go.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we were there. You know, you get an idea of just the reports that you're hearing. You see who's running with the 1s, 2s, and 3s. You can kind of get an idea, a feel for how this roster is going to shape up. So we each did our own 53. I think they end up pretty much the same. How are you doing this? Showing mine and yours, or are we doing?
I'm just gonna plot both of them on at the same time, and I figure we'll just walk kind of through the positions because they are very similar. So let's start out on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, the one thing after yesterday is I guess I'm not as confident as Kellen Mond just making this team anymore, but I still got him.
I still think he is, and I know it's not good what he does when he takes off and runs, but I think that's actually what's going to save him and make him dangerous. Give a guy who, you know, defenses have to watch that element. So if he does come in, he can take off and pick up some yards on the ground. Yeah, his mechanics, I mean, I guess it's not his mechanics so much as just his decision-making, hanging on the ball too long, ball placement, all very, very worrisome right now. But I do think he makes his team as well.
Yeah, I mean, running backs, we have him keeping everybody, including CJ Ham. I think that won't be a very big surprise at this point. One thing I do got to note is my numbers are not right because I am a moron. Lupagus's numbers are right, but let's go to wider. Anything really to talk about running back? I mean,
I don't think so. I think they all make it. And I think Ngwangu is just going to be kind of the returner this year. I don't think he's going to see a lot in offense. I think it's going to be Ty Chandler being running back 3, and I'm fine with that.
So when it gets to wide receiver, I have 6 there, but I actually have them keeping 5 because at running back, if we're keeping 5 running backs, you gotta dip somewhere. And one of the positions I took off was wide receiver, and I have BC Johnson not making the cut.
But after seeing him yesterday, whether he was with the 2s or the 1s, he was getting a lot of targets. So I think he's going to be a part of this offense. I'd be shocked if he doesn't make it. I'm not so confident about Jalen Naylor making it. But they got to keep. I think they're going to keep 6, especially with this tight end situation the way it is. So I feel pretty confident with the ones I have there, and I think BC's safe.
I think Smith Marset makes BC expendable because Smith Marset is out there with them as well. I mean, there's only so many hands to feed, so I didn't want to take it, but with 5 running backs, that's what I did. Tight end.
Well, I think with the receivers, I'm more confident on who's not going to make it after what we saw. Albert Wilson, Thomas Hannigan, guys, Myron Mitchell, guys like that just aren't getting heavy loads. So I just don't see any of those guys, any guys down the depth chart coming up and making the jump.
Yes. So tight end, we have the same. So Irv Smith, clearly this could change very quickly if they decide to not start him on the active roster. But Munt and Davidson the last couple of days. Whew.
Yeah. And Munt, you know, they're both splitting. Munt and Davidson splitting with the 1s. Obviously, with Irv Smith Jr., they have to. But it was actually, if I was going to do a snap count, I think Davidson maybe got more time with the 1s than Munt did. And, you know, you see Kirk Cousins, we mentioned yesterday, giving him knucks, encouraging him. So he's kind of become Kirk Cousins' guy. So that's huge for Zach Davidson. And definitely this may be the 3 that we see. They don't go and sign anybody.
Yeah, I think they just want to see exactly that what Zach Davidson has to offer. I think that's why they're throwing him out in the ringer to get a feel for what he has, if he can handle it. Go to tackle.
Yeah, tackle. I got Darrisaw, Brian O'Neill, obviously 2 locks there. Blake Brandel, I guess. Oli Udo, Vidarian Lowe. Of those 5, I feel the least safe about Blake Brandel making this team.
Yeah, I actually gave Udo the boot, so I only have them keeping 4 offensive tackles. Reason being is behind the top 2, they're just not very good regardless who you keep. So I think they'll have one of these guys on the practice squad and ready to call up. But again, with those running backs, and I know on defense, I opted to keep a couple more at a certain position as well. So offensive tackle is just, there's no reason to keep any of those guys. So
I think if it comes down to a veteran who's been here or one of the new regime's guys, they're going to go with their guys. So Vidarian Lowe, I think, is probably safe regardless this year.
So interior line, we have the exact same as well, and I think this is probably about the closest you can get to a lock.
Yeah, I think so. Wyatt Davis is gone. He is not making this team, and the Wyatt Davis believers, you guys just need to stop because there's nothing.
Don't stop believing.
No, it's time. Journey was wrong. You got to stop believing.
So yeah, just a couple key outs for us: Wyatt Davis, Ellison. I don't have Ellison either, but Udo, Wyatt Davis, and Basie for me. Getting the axe. Comments hot and heavy. We're still going to bring up the defense, but let us know what you think, who you think they're going to keep, who you think they're not going to keep. But let's go to the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I know you said Ed Donatel only keeps 5 defensive linemen, but when I was done with my initial projection, I had 2 spots left. So I went ahead and gave James Lynch a spot in this team as well. But Tomlinson, Phillips, Watts, those guys were getting tons of work yesterday. Adamoyo, I think, is safe. Jalen Twyman, we've heard a couple good things about him. I didn't really know so much yesterday when I was watching. Same with James Lynch, but I think they're going to keep. I think they're going to keep 6 here.
Yeah, I got him keeping 6 too. I snuck in old John Bullard in there, and unfortunately, James Lynch did not make the cut. And again, Bullard can play any of the spots, so he gets my nod, and they picked him up. So I think Jonathan Bullard's a dark horse.
I haven't heard a sniff about Jonathan Bullard this preseason, so maybe. Let's go to linebacker. I got 9. Looks like you got him keeping 10. Hunter Smith, Wanham, that's obvious. Patrick Jones looks like, from what we saw, he's definitely out there with the 2, so he's safe. Kendricks, Hicks inside. Troy Dye, just the fact that he was the guy stepping up for Hicks when he had the diarrhea there. Blake Lynch, and then Brian Asamoah. So 9 linebackers for me. Who's the extra one? Oh, you got McLeod.
Zach McLeod. So yeah, we haven't heard much from him either, but we've heard a few things about Zach McLeod. So I just think they're going to want a young pass rushing dude like him who can play multiple spots. So I got Zach McLeod. Confidence is not overly high on Zach McLeod, but there's always some sort of goofy keep, and he's my goofy keep.
Yeah, that's definitely a goofy one. Mine's pretty vanilla. My entire projection here, nothing too shocking. Let's go on to corners. Patrick Peterson, Cam Dancer, Andrew Booth, Caleb Evans, Shannon Sullivan, and I got Harrison Hand, as you do too. We got exactly the same here, and I think this is the best group they can come up with.
Yeah, I think Nate Harrison could possibly sneak in, but Harrison Hand has been playing well the last couple of practices. I've heard his name out there quite a bit. So cornerbacks, regardless how it shakes out at the end, you got to be very happy about the way the top of this depth chart looks.
Absolutely. So let's go on to safeties here. I haven't keeping just 3. There's no lot to pick from, but Smith, Bynum, Scene. Those guys are all rotating at the 1s yesterday. So I hope to see that actually throughout the season. Just keep rotating those guys through because they're all playmakers. You also have Josh Metellus hanging on.
Josh Metellus hanging on special teams wise. And I think Cam Bynum I think they're going to line him up in a handful of spots. So they might need a little bit more depth at safety, but we'll see. Josh Metellus, what a player. What a ball player.
Yeah,
special teams strictly.
Well, he was out there. I did see him out there with the 2s. I didn't think he'd make it last year. He's a guy kind of keeps hanging around. You can't get rid of him. Can't shake him. Specialist,
there's really nothing to even talk about. These are the guys. No doubt.
Greg Joseph. I mean, he looked amazing yesterday. I guess it was 8 for 8, and every single kick had 15 extra yards on it.
Boom.
He is looking good, damn good.
And the bigger names on defense, we both got Chris Boyd not making it. Janarius Robinson, I think, will look real good on that practice squad along with Chaz Surratt And then my boy James Lynch, that was a tough one for me. It hurt real bad not to keep him.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did. So, yeah, you mentioned something very key, though, the goofy makes. There's going to be a couple of those. There's going to be some surprise cuts that we don't see either. It happens every single year. Just when you really think you have this final 53 hammered out and figured out and it's set in stone, some shocking things happen. And those will probably happen here in a few weeks. So I'm excited to see when that does happen. And we'll watch, too. Maybe they bring somebody in. Maybe someone gets hurt. Those things could always put a big old flux in this initial projection.
It's just when you think you got it, Dan Chisena makes the damn team. Blows it all up. So let us know in comments what you would change, who you'd keep, where we stepped on it. And remember to grab yourself a cold lift bridge and start whapping that thing back.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And remember this, too. This is very, very important. When Mozart got bored or found himself in a bad mood, he would leap over tables and chairs, meow like a cat, and do somersaults like an unruly child.